guys, welcome back to a new video. I'm back here because I'm gonna do my fall TBR, which is insane how much time flies. I know I just started back on my booktube channel again, but I just can't believe it's already fall, like crazy. It's like how time flies. Really, it's like pretty much, it's pretty much over like the year, and yeah, it's crazy how 2024 is gonna be here soon. It's insane, but yeah, nonetheless, I'm here to show my fall TBR that I really want to read. Most of these are, I'm not gonna lie, are mystery and thrillers. I just want to really get into mysteries and thrillers and give them a try. The books I really want to read. And yeah, some of these books I have them already ordered online. I think they're on the way already, but they're really just some books that I'm really interested in and sound really interesting. So let's just go ahead and get started. So the first book that I really want to read is actually a book by Margaret Atwood, and I think she's a Canadian author, and she has a book called Alias Grace. I think she also has Handmaid's Tale, but I haven't been interested in that one. I haven't really gotten into that one. But I heard about this one. I think I heard of it, but also because I think I saw the pilot of the first episode. Like the pilot of the series for this book in Netflix. And I think that was a long time ago, like years ago. I don't remember when it was, but I think I realized it was based off a book, and I got this book. And it's called Alias Grace. I think I showed it like a long time ago as a TBR, but I never got to reading it. And I do want to read this like really bad this year because it is a mystery thriller about this. I think she's a housemaid, I think, and she ends up being like mixed into this like murder mystery kind of like who's done it kind of deal. So, but she's pretty much like suffering from memory loss or like amnesia or something like that, or something similar to that. And she is remembering what happened. She doesn't know what happened to her like during this ordeal of like someone being murdered, I guess. I don't know. I never read this, so like it's my first time reading it, but I am really interested in reading this because it is a murder mystery, a pretty much like mystery thriller. So I would love to read this during the fall season. It is big though. It is like a 600 page, almost 600 page book, I think. And it is big. It's a chunker. So I don't know. Hopefully, because I really want to read it, hopefully I'll read this. And when I finish it, hopefully I'll also watch maybe like the first couple of episodes in the series. So the next book that I want to read is Nightfall by Nelson DeMille. I have never heard of this book. I think I bought it in a yard sale, and I had no idea, but it was about like, what book is this? I have no idea, so like I just bought it. I don't know, out of a whim, and it is a chunker. It's like almost 800 pages. It's really long. It's huge. So it is also like big, like a big text. If you can see, it's really big text. So like the font is super big. But I think that's why it's like almost 800 pages, because of the font maybe. But it's big. But this is like the third book of the series. The first book is actually called Plum Island, which actually I ordered already online. It's on the way. But this is the third book in the series. The first book is, again, called Plum Island. So it's pretty much like a detective murder mystery kind of book. So most of these, again, are going to be like murder mysteries. But that's the one I want to read. But this is actually the third one, but the first one I'm going to read is already on the way. But yeah. So the next book that I want to read in the fall is called Room by Emma Donoghue. This book I showed you guys already in my book haul. And I bought this in Goodwill for I don't know how many bucks. And it's pretty, I think it's an average sized book. It's almost 400 pages. And this book is sort of more like a thriller book, and it's more about giving the story of the mother instead of the child. I personally thought it was going to be about mental disorder or something like that. It's not. So I thought this was going to be mostly about the child. It kind of is, but not really. It's mostly about the mother. It's mostly like how they're kind of kidnapped into this like room, and it sounds like very just, I don't know, claustrophobic for me. I feel like, because it's in a room. It's really interesting to me, like how it does. They don't really say that they're kind of kidnapped, so I could be wrong on that basis, but it does say that they're kind of trapped in that room, and they've been trapped there for like several years. And so it's interesting that it's kind of like this. I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but hopefully I will. It sounds really, really interesting. I've heard like lots of good reviews. So yeah, I really am excited for this one. So a classic that I'm going to read, hopefully, is another murder mystery, which this is the third, I think the second or third book of the series, I believe, or trilogy, of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. And I already bought the first book from online, and it's called A Study in Scarlet. And that one's, I believe, the first one, and then I think this one's the third one in the series or something like that. And of course, this is a classic, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. It's just a murder mystery, we all know it. I personally have never read it before, but I'm excited to read it and see how it is. It's just another murder mystery, but it's just another murder mystery that I have in TBR pile that I'm interested in reading. But yeah, another murder mystery for me. This is once again another mystery thriller. There's a lot of mystery thrillers in this pile, but this one's, I never heard of this book, but someone gifted it to me like a long time ago, and I never heard of it. I think this is like the third book, like the last book in the trilogy, I believe. It's another murder mystery, and this is the third book. The first book is already on the way here, but it is called A Man of Indeterminate Value by Ron Felber, and this is the third one. So it is called, I think, Jack Madsen series. So it's more like a, I don't know, kind of like more like a action-packed thriller, I'm gonna say. It's not really a mystery, it's more like an action-packed thriller. That's what it sounds like in the synopsis. So this one is about, I would say like 300 pages, which is actually not a lot. So it sounds like it's going to be like a really interesting read for me, especially with all these mystery reads and thriller reads. But yeah, that's the next one I have in the pile. So these two I also mentioned in my book haul, but these two are The Harriet the Spy by Louis Fitzhugh and Harriet Spies Again by the same author. And I bought this, I think, in the library, and it was just, I think, a huge pile of books for like $3, which is not a lot at all. It's like, it's pretty much a steal. And this is about, I want to say, almost 300 pages. And Harriet Spies Again, I think I feel like these both are chapter books. And this one's about like 230 pages, which is not bad. So both of these books are, I think, for the first books in I think series or duology or something like that, something similar. But these are also something that I really want to enjoy, because these are more like children's books. They'll give me a break of all these like mysteries, this heavy mystery that I'm gonna read. I mean, this is also a mystery too, but this is more like a children's book mystery, which is kind of the same, but kind of, I mean, it's kind of different because it's more like hearted, I feel like. So another one from the book haul that I showed on the last video is The Guest List by Lucy Foley. I heard this is a mystery thriller, and I heard really good things about this one. So interested in reading this. Just, I'm all around just really interested. And yeah, even the title like sounds really interesting to, like, really enticing to read. So yeah, interesting. So this is another mystery thriller. Again, these are all mystery thrillers except I think 2, or a couple more. But yeah, this is another mystery thriller. Most of these again are mystery thrillers, but this one is it's called Unwanted Guest. It doesn't have a dust jacket, but it's called An Unwanted Guest by Sherry LaPena. I got this from the library for $3, I think, or well, a pile for $3, including this one. And it says a weekend retreat at a cozy mountain lodge is supposed to be the perfect getaway, but when the storm hits, no one is getting away. It's winter in the Catskills, and Mitchell's Inn, nestled deep in the woods, is the perfect setting for a relaxing, maybe even romantic weekend away. It boasts spacious old rooms with huge wood-burning fireplaces, a well-stocked wine cellar, and opportunities for cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, or just curling up with a good murder mystery. So when the weather takes a turn for the worst and a blizzard cuts off the electricity and all contact with the outside world, the guests settle in and try to make the best of it. Soon, though, one of the guests turns up dead. It looks like an accident, but when a second guest dies, they start to panic. Within the snowed-in paradise, something or someone is picking off the guests one by one. And there's nothing they can do but hunker down and hope they can survive the storm in one another. Wow. It sounds really cozy. It sounds like a really interesting, cozy, like, mystery read. It just sounds really interesting. Like, all these, like, just sound interesting. And, yeah, I'm, like, really excited to be cozying up in my bed or, like, the couch with a blanket and, like, I don't know, pumpkin spice latte or something like that. I just read this or, like, any other book. It just sounds really, really interesting. So yeah. Okay, next book is The Giver. This one is not a mystery. This is more of a science fiction dystopian book. This actually is the movie cover of the book. And this is a book cover of the movie cover of the movie. And this one says now a major motion picture. So it's now a movie, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm interested in reading this one too because it sounds really, really cool. I actually read this like a long time ago. Like I'm pretty much like rereading this, but I think I read this like 5 years ago, I think, and I want to reread it because it sounds really good. And it's like so good actually. I remember it was like so good and I loved it, but it ended as such a cliffhanger. So I'm like, oh my god. And I also have like the second book on me if I wanna continue reading this. So I have Gathering Blue on the shelf. It's actually right here, Gathering Blue and then The Giver. So this is the first book in the series, I think, and Gathering Blue. So these are both together. The only ones I don't have is the third and fourth books because it's a quartet. So I got these covers don't match, unfortunately, but that's fine. So if I want to continue reading the series, I'll just read this, and so I'm gonna be like all set for the fall season, and I'm just so excited because I remember reading this and just loving it and giving it 5 stars. It was so good. So yeah. Okay, next one is also a library buy, and it's The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. And again, it's another murder mystery I want to read, and there's so many murder mysteries right now, and yeah. So this one is, again, it's about a girl, a 17-year-old girl in the 1970s, who was mysteriously murdered. I think that's how it goes. And I don't know, something happens, and they're trying to figure out who pretty much murdered her. It's an interesting read. Well, actually, it's interesting because I did watch the movie. It was kind of confusing, but I think it was interesting to watch, but I think this will be probably different, hopefully, and hopefully I'll like it. But yeah, this is another one I want to read. That's a murder mystery novel. But yeah. Okay, so before I move on, I'm gonna read the synopsis because I almost forgot. But says, my name was Salmon, like the fish. First name Susie. I was 14. Actually, 14. Sorry, my bad. 14. I was 14 when I was murdered on December 6, 1973. So begins the story of Susie Selman, who is adjusting to her new home in heaven, a place that is not at all what she expected, even as she is watching life on Earth continue without her. Her friends trading rumors about her disappearance, her killer trying to cover his tracks, her grief-stricken family unraveling. So that is pretty much like the synopsis. It sounds really interesting. I don't know. It's another murder mystery, pretty much. So it sounds super, super interesting. But yeah, this is the one. Okay, so the next book that I'm going to read actually Goosebumps. I think this one's book 19 and this one's book 29. So these are not the first books of the series, but I ordered already the first 3 books of the series for Goosebumps by R.L. Stine. And I cannot believe there are over 60 books for Goosebumps. It is insane. Like, I ordered 3 because I think these are very short books. They are like, I think 100 pages or a little more, a little less, I don't know, depends. But they're, I think, around 100 books, so they're not bad. So I've ordered the first 3 books. I ordered Welcome to Dead House. I think the second one was Monster Blood. And, oh, actually, no, the second one is Stay Out of the Basement. And the third one's Monster Blood. So those are the first 3 I bought because they're pretty short and I can just read them like really quickly in like a day or in 2 days. And it's mostly like children's horror. And I personally read Goosebumps when I was a kid. And it kind of terrified me, but I kind of liked them because it was like pretty interesting to read. But also it gave me the Goosebumps pretty much. But for the first one, I have the synopsis here. It's for Welcome to Dead House. It says, Amanda and Josh think the old house they have just moved into is weird, spooky, possibly haunted, and the town of Dark Falls is pretty strange too. But their parents don't believe them. You'll get used to it, they say. Go out and make some friends. So Amanda and Josh do, but these creepy new friends are not exactly what their parents had in mind, because they want to be friends forever. So, sounds creepy. It sounds like it's weird. But, yeah, it's just books that I'm like, okay, these are kind of like nostalgic because I read these when I was a kid. But, yeah. So, I ordered the first 3 online. But, yeah, those are the books that I want to read for Goosebumps. Okay, guys. So, these are all the books that I'm going to read. I know these are not... I know not all of these I'm going to read. Because I'm going to have, like, I'm not going to have all the time in the world to read. But I'll try to read most of these. I'm not going to read all of these, but these are just options for me to read. So yeah, these are all the ones that are just options. Whichever I want to read next are, like, yeah. These are it. I know for some people there are not that many books, but in reality they really are because there are like 13 books in total, or 14 maybe, more or less. But these are all the ones I'm wanting to read, just cozying up on your bed or couch or reading Nook and eating hot cocoa or eating Good Spice latte and reading a nice cozy murder mystery book. So that sounds really, really nice right now. But that is all the books I'm hoping to read for the fall season, for autumnal season. Here where I live, actually, the leaves haven't changed color yet, which is interesting because it's starting to get cold, but the leaves haven't changed yet. Which is, yeah, it's interesting. Also, it's starting to get darker earlier. So that is it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you guys are new. And leave a like down below if you guys like this video. And also click the notification bell for all of the future videos that I upload in the future. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.